Well, hello. Welcome to another show to your host, Staten Island Talks, with your host, Johnny Davidson, and my special guest.
Hello. My name is John. Last name Lenihan.
Well, today we're going to talk. I brought my special friend over here to ask him how it feels to live on Staten Island and his point of view of living on Staten Island.
I don't know. That's like a pretty trick question, but I would say good.
So how do you feel about the people out here and the transit workers, just anybody in general on this island? How do you feel about them?
I think I don't know. This is like literally my first time being on TV, so I mean, I am kind of a little bit nervous. So
All right, just be you. Just be you. But the thing is, I want to ask, how do you do it? How do you walk like everywhere on this island?
I don't know. I get it from my dad.
And then you also got to deal with the people, half the people who are driving, running red lights, probably.
Yep.
Getting tickets.
Yep.
I got to give you credit. I don't even walk. I drive, as my guest knows, I drive a bike.
Some people say I look like a zombie that I could walk that far. Trust me.
Right.
But
and so are you currently working?
Not at the moment, but hopefully before the new year I'll be working. Hopefully. I'm trying to get into work.
Right, same here. But until then, I'm behind the mic.
Yeah, you're just being you,
So
you gotta be yourself. I mean, gotta worry about life first, and your health.
So right, is there anything you want to talk about specifically on Staten Island?
Well, let's talk about drivers first.
Okay, how do you feel about the drivers? Me, honestly, I don't like them.
To be honest with you, to be completely honest with you, I don't like the way certain people drive out here.
Oh yeah, same. You got one person that's going like less than the speed limit, or you have this other person that's going faster than the speed limit, and then the speed bumps. It's just all over the place. They don't know to go slowly over it, or you got some that go slow over it, or some that's just speeds all over the speed bumps.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some people that don't even use turn signals.
Nope. And they look at you like you're in the wrong, like you got 6 heads or something.
True. Like that day, me, you, and my buddy Matt, that the people don't know, that second person, but me, you, Matt, we went into the city with a U-Haul. And I'm driving the box truck. This person decided to double park in that single tight road, and just hold up traffic. I'm honking the horn, and the person looking at me like I'm in the wrong, but they're in the wrong because they're holding up traffic. I had people in back of me honking, and I also had to deal with them. The lady had to give me an ugly look after they was done talking. I said, it's not my fault. It's the people who are honking at me, and plus, you can't impede traffic, as the police will call it.
People got to get to work on time, got to get their kids from school.
That too.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, you can't be holding up traffic like that. It's, I believe it's not right. Right for the community, right for the people that, try to get home safely and, trying to pick up their kids and making sure they're, nothing's going to happen to them.
And what's another thing that you feel about Staten Island? How about the fast food places, or the streets, or the stuff that you call Soho potholes that we got in New York?
Oh, there is a lot of potholes. Yes. Yeah. I hope I don't plan on living in Staten Island for that long. There is a lot of potholes on the floor, but just like that one time when me, you, and Matt were driving. And do you remember?
We went on I think we went on one of the Cobblestone streets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
once because they have the cobblestones. Some, if you guys don't know, some of the New York City, like if you go to New York City instead of Staten Island, you know some of the roads got cobblestones still on them. So
Yep.
we do have
Yep.
still paved roads, but we still have some of the cobblestone roads that
Yep.
been
that is
driven
correct.
on, that been driven on for so long that it just feel like it's not even cobblestoned
I
anymore.
mean, in my own opinion, I just think we just need like new pavement, new roads. Hopefully, they decide to like fix all the potholes that we have on Staten Island, because that could be like really dangerous, and especially if it could be in like in cross of an intersection,
Right.
it could cause a big accident.
Right. And then the even crazier part is we doing all this driving around potholes and stuff, and then you got the police that pulls us over talking about we are reckless driving. We're doing that because of potholes and everything. We have to swerve the potholes and this and that. They
I mean, what do you
like
expect
they want
us
us to hit
do?
it.
Like, we're gonna get into an accident. Like, either way. I mean,
Right.
it's classic Staten Island, classic New York. It's the city we live in. I mean, it's a beautiful city. Don't get me wrong, but some of the people that live here and treat it like like it's garbage and it's not their home, and
Right. And then another thing is I do not condone reckless driving, by the way. I forgot to say that. I do not condone reckless driving. Because I know we have potholes, but I don't recommend to you reckless driving. Just go slowly over the potholes.
yeah, or that.
Yeah, so how you feel about the transits? Do you feel like they're on time every day, or they're just
Sometimes the trains are delayed. Sometimes the trains are not. I mean, sometimes like the buses, for instance. I mean, in my own opinion, you might have your different own opinion,
right?
but I think the reason why people don't pay for the buses is because there's a lot of rude drivers that give passengers nasty look. In my own opinion, for a service driver is say hello with a smile, and
Yeah, but it's also some of the people too that give
yes,
the drivers,
especially the hijacking. There's been a lot of hijacking in New York or in Staten Island a lot.
right? Especially if it's like U-Haul trucks or it's mainly commercial vehicles getting hijacked.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Because I think I watched news one time on YouTube, and these people, not going to get into it, but I know these people was driving this box truck. Police were trying to get them, and they ended up crossing the bridge. It actually started in New Jersey and then came over to our bridge into Staten Island. And luckily, it ended not badly, but poorly to everybody's vehicles down there by the ferry side.
Mm-hmm.
But me living on Staten Island, yeah, I like the transit, but I also don't like them because they're crappy drivers. Half of them
Yeah,
don't know how
that
to
is true.
drive.
That is true. I'm not saying that you're wrong on that. There is some crappy drivers. I think, in my own opinion, need to improve.
I feel like there's some people. I feel like there's some people who don't need to be driving, and there's some who needs to be driving. Don't get me wrong. I respect my transit workers,
Mm-hmm.
but some of them need to go back in that training yard because they like to jerk the bus a lot.
Yeah, see that. I mean,
But don't get me wrong. They do that because people are cutting them off, this and that. That's a bus, people, that take you here and there. Why would you want to cut off a bus that can't stop on time?
Yeah, or get there on time, because sometimes it could be traffic.
Right.
I know sometimes traffic can be stressful. That is true. I mean, thank God I'm not driving yet. I mean, I want to drive, but I'm a little bit worried, about people
The people out here.
Yeah.
It's not like my parents say every time I get on my bike, they say, be careful. And I tell them yes. But they also tell me that we're not worried about you. It's about the drivers out there, how they drive. And I tell them, I know. And that's why every time the way you see me drive is the way I drive.
Yep.
On my bike. I know it's a little dangerous, but sometimes you have to do it for the right causes.
Sometimes people got to be more mindful with people that are on bikes. Yes, there is reckless drivers on like motorcycles, mopeds, and I think yes, it is a little bit dangerous, but I think it's more dangerous if a car is if that bike has the right of way and and no turn signal or nothing, not even giving the driver a heads up.
Right. There've been so many times I'd be at stop signs, like a 4-way stop sign, and especially on your block, that road I do not like it because you got the highway next to it too. So it's your block and the highway across the street that you're entering.
In my own opinion, I don't like it either. But at least my grandmother's given me a roof over my head. I'm actually very grateful. I actually love my grandmother.
Right, and I see that too because I come by your house a lot. And then also, speaking about that, the highway and the stop sign, I don't like it because one, I'm standing there like 30 to 20 minutes. No, like 20 to 30 minutes. That's why you see me take the back where I'm at the red light. Because I do not like crossing that. Especially when there's cars parked in your blind spot. You can't see left or right. And it's something you have to poke out your whole entire front of the car for you to be able to see. Which is also more dangerous because you don't know if a bus is coming. And there's city buses that come down. And then you got the trucks, cement trucks, 18-wheelers, this and that, coming on the highway and coming off on the highway.
Yeah. That is true. Yep. I don't know. It's just like, if everybody, loves the city and everybody, it's, treat it like it's your place, like treat it like with passion, like you really actually want to live here. I think that just needs to improve. Like, people need to stop throwing garbage on the street and, sometimes it's not good for the animals and, animals could be like roaming around the street. And I think it's, it's sad to see like some animals run around the city. Even I have seen like a bunch of cats like running around in the city.
Right. People.
And people just throw trash and, they could get sick. And, God forbid if the person's sick, they can, like any animal could die just by eating any type of garbage off the floor.
Right. And then also people speeding and throwing trash on the ground.
Yep.
Even when they're parked by a gas station and they just throw it out out the window when there's a trash can in front of them.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. I do that sometimes, but then I regret it. So I get out the car or off my bike, pick it up, either throw it in my bike and wait until I get home, or I pick it up and just throw it in the trash can.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to admit it. I do litter sometimes, but I also pick it up.
It's most likely to, keep the world clean the best way you can, Sometimes not a lot of people see it that way. But, yeah.
Yeah, because when I pick up my trash after I throw it on the ground, I regret doing it, so I pick it up. And I have some people that like, I be in a crowded place and people be like, why are you picking it up? Just leave it on the ground. It's trash. Yeah, but guess what?
Yep.
I'm doing my part to keep the streets clean.
Yep. You're just letting the people know that this is not a, good way to behave.
Right.
It's not okay for the public.
Right. And then also animals dying and people passing. For one, the animals, they're dying because people are just speeding. And also animals are just randomly crossing streets.
Including like narrow roads and, tight streets, which we do have out here in Staten Island, which, I think is a little bit unsafe, especially when you're going up a hill. You don't see who's coming on the other side of it.
That is true.
Yeah. So.
Like that night we went out trick-or-treating with your families. Did you see me coming up that hill? Because I had the high beams on.
Yes.
But I wasn't going fast. I was going slow because it was
you
Halloween.
were going to normal speed. I think, in my own opinion, you were going to normal speed.
But I knew y'all seen me because there's trees that you'll see.
Mm-hmm. Especially that one lady that cut you off. She didn't have
no headlights.
No headlights. And you had the right. You had the right of way. You had your turn signal on.
Well, technically, I was coming out of a little parking like plaza house, as you call it.
Yeah, it's like
but
it's like one of the old houses that I used to live in, like one of them town-looking houses. Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so she's coming like I'm coming out. I'm creeping out. I'm not even hitting the gas. I'm foot on the brake and letting the car roll a little bit so I could poke the car's nose out as I could see. So she's coming down, no headlights, no nothing, and she's in a big SUV. Honks at me like I'm in the wrong. I seen you coming. Luckily, I saw you coming. Because if I didn't, you would have hit me and you would have blamed me. But I had headlights and high beams on. So you can't say that I was in the wrong.
Nope. And plus you had your turn signal. So, I think it's good. You actually stood up up for yourself.
Yeah, because when she
to let the lady know, next time to keep her high beams on, because that can cause an accident.
Yeah, because I told the lady, I pulled next to her. She want to yell at me and curse at me and everything, but I told her and I killed her with kindness. I told her, well, lady, it's not my fault. It was your fault because one, you didn't have your headlights on, and I also told her, you need to turn your headlights on. That was the reason why you honked at me.
The way some people think out here is just, insane, isn't it?
Right. And then another thing is these people, I don't know what they're doing on this island, honestly. It's like some people like to just rush and some people don't rush. Me, I don't like to rush. But if I know if I got to get somewhere, I'm not rushing.
Yeah, just take your time. Don't, stress yourself out, Even though you might run a little bit late, it's just like a job. You're not always going to be like there on time, At least call like ahead of time to let them know that you're going to be running a little bit late, which I think is, a little bit, suitable.
Right. Now, if I really wanted to rush, I could have just took the back roads because there's barely any traffic on the back roads.
Yep, and shortcuts.
Which again, I don't recommend. I don't recommend reckless driving, by the way, on the back roads.
Yep.
But anywho, yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on Staten Island?
I don't know. There's just like a lot. There's just like a lot in comment. I mean, there's been a lot of people getting shot, and
right.
I think it was like last year. I still miss him till this day, but he would always be, because he was like a brother. He was like a brother to me, even though we had a couple of fights here and there. I miss him very much. He used to be like my uncle's aide. I kind of seen him like a role model. Like a trusty and wealthy person.
Right. And then another thing I did want to mention, I had you, but I also did want to tell these people about something recently that was on the internet, and I showed you. My family saw it. They didn't like it, and you guys didn't like it. So I just wanted to tell people my side of the story about, if you guys have seen it, of a video of me being accused that.
In my own defense, I think that was wrong. I think it was totally wrong. That it just to get followers, and thinking it's all a joke. How do you know how that person is feeling? You don't know how their day has been.
Right. And I'm just here to come on to tell my side of the story about the recording. Me, honestly, I was coming back from a friend's house, going home, and these people turned around. I guess they seen me. They turned around. It was like girls in a car, and they poked out their phones, and they wanted to record me and just make up something and accuse me of something I didn't do. Me, I could have left that, but I couldn't because there was traffic. That's a safety thing. You can't just dart out in the middle of traffic.
No.
And God forbid I get hit on a bike.
No.
And then another thing is that I didn't want them to follow me. God knows what they was gonna carry.
What they were carrying, or they couldn't have carried like a gun or something. And
right. Well, they're ladies. I wouldn't know if they're carrying guns or not, but still.
Think, it doesn't matter if it's a female or a male, to be exact. I just think anybody's capable of, killing somebody or just tailing somebody for no apparent reason.
Right. And another thing is, I could have told him to stop recording me, but that was not in a private area. It was in like an open area. It was like a public spot where I couldn't tell them nothing. So my only two options were to either go or not. But I was trying to also go because I didn't want them to follow me, but they would have followed me because they're in a car. How could you outrun somebody on a moped?
And plus, it's also not safe, to hop over the, curve. You're being mindful.
Well,
practically. I mean, you had nothing else to do, but just.
Well, I know that probably somebody in that comment section would have said, you could have just ride on the sidewalk. Well, that's not safe because I count as a DMV vehicle. I'm supposed to stay by law. If I'm turning, I gotta use turn signal, everything. I gotta act like I'm a car when I'm not really a vehicle.
You gotta get the feeling of the car.
Yeah, even though it's an electric vehicle and it doesn't count as a vehicle, it just counts as a.
It's like a living. It's like you have your own kid.
Yeah, but
example.
It's also electric, so basically people will look at it as electric and just not look at it as a vehicle. There was actually one time a person yelled at me in a construction van, like one of the transit vans, telling me to get off the road. But I got up to him by the light and told him this. I said, I'm a vehicle too. Just because you don't hear no engine and I'm electric and you don't see no license plate, I still count as a vehicle. But anywho, so my side of the story, I wasn't even thinking about being accused of something that I didn't do. And by the time I heard her said, do you remember a long time ago? At that time I heard that, I was ready to go. But I couldn't go because there was traffic.
That's understandable. Yep.
And then it wasn't just also her posting me. I guess there was another person that posted me, a high famous person that you listen to some of his musics.
Yep.
I got posted on Snoop Dogg's Instagram. I don't know if it's legitly him or not, because I don't know, but it has a check mark.
Some people like to play like phonies, like pretend like they're that person, but they're not. That's why it's like the internet is like so complicated. You can't tell who's real, because I don't know if you ever seen that show. It's called Catfish.
Right, but also, I'm just gonna say he's probably legit, because you know how hard it is to get a blue check mark on your name.
It's hard.
So I'm just gonna say he's legit.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna call people out. I'm just gonna say he's legit, and that's it, and leave it there. But I'm on his channel. You could go see for yourselves. If you guys see the video, please report it. And also, if you guys either get recorded in a public space or a private space, if you get recorded in a private space, you could tell them not to record you. But if you're like in a public, you can't tell them to stop, because it's a public area. So they have the rights to record you. So if they record you in public, try to run, but also try to do it safely. and go tell somebody too. If you don't feel
Yep.
feel comfortable.
Don't ever be afraid to stick up for yourself.
Right. Or you could also record them too.
Yep.
Record them back. Just pick up your phone and be like, oh, you want to record me? Here, I'm going to record you. Tell me what you got to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking that, so.
Yeah, you weren't. You felt like you were lost. I'm not saying you actually were. You were coming home from your friend's house, right? That's
right.
What you were saying.
I was just doing the normal daily things that people would do. Go get gas, go grocery shopping, living a normal life. And these girls just come out of nowhere and record them.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even expecting it. I was going home. But yeah, that's why I wanted to get off my chest. That's why I'm in the studio today, to get that off my chest. I was supposed to have.
That's good. That's literally good that you're getting your feelings out there. You're getting people to listen to you. I think it's a good thing. You're sticking up for yourself. That's a most important thing that people need to know and realize, that you're not alone in this world. Anybody can stick up for you, and you just gotta have confidence.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then to the 5 million people on his page or whatever who was making fun of me, I wonder how y'all gonna do in life, make fun of people. And to the people who report it, I see y'all getting somewhere in life.
Yep, I see people like that could ruin their lives. Yes, they may have it all now, but eventually that could easily go down the hill, like real quick, real fast. So you may seem like you're at the top, but you doing wrong things like that, it's not okay. I just think, in my own opinion, it's wrong. It's wrong. I don't think people should be getting bullied, getting recorded. Even if it's in public or a private place, you're invading their space, their personal space, and without their personal consent for you to, or them to, record you.
Right. And then, yeah, that's what I really wanted to get off my chest. So, yeah. Anything else?
I don't know.
Okay. That's all we got to talk about. Well, this is your host, Johnny Davidson. And then special thanks to Spectrum and all those other places. And you guys have a wonderful night.
Yep. Have a good night, guys. Are you good? Look like you seen a ghost or something.
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't know. In my own opinion, it looked like you were spooked. I mean,